I am finally doing a shakedown hike. It is 6:30. I'm climbing up the Priest, and it's Friday. I'm gonna be out until Monday, so I'm really excited and still a little tired. There's the sunrise, and I'm just slowly climbing, and it's even prettier now. I think that I'm almost at the top up there, but that wasn't too hard on my muscles, but my cardio is a little out of shape and my heart's thrumming. I feel like anytime I take a break and then I continue on, and 1 minute later there's a great view. That was not almost the top, but I think I am actually almost at the top for real this time. And I think a storm's gonna come in. So I better get to the top and over. And here's the actual view. I can't tell if it's just gonna be windy or if it's gonna start doing something else. But we'll find out. I am glad that I got over the Priest, because that's the longest continuous ascent today, definitely, by far. From here, because I'm going south, for now. From here, it's very kind of just up and down, but shorter climbs and descents. I'm not really sure how far I'm going today. I want to go somewhere between 15 and 20 miles, because I would like to start the PCT with high teen mileage, but also I'm just gonna see how it goes. I'm not gonna get myself injured on a shakedown hike. That would be bad. So I'm just gonna keep walking and try to be not the fastest ever, but very consistent and few breaks, and just see how it goes. We're at the junction for Creat Falls, but we continue on. There's a deer right there in the trees. Update, it did not rain. It's shaping up to be a lovely day. The temperatures are perfect. I don't really know exactly what they are because I didn't check the weather before leaving. But I think right now, and it's somewhere between 9 and 10 a.m., it's probably in the 50s, low 50s, high 40s, something like that. It's lovely. So, yeah. 3 and a bit hours in, and I finally saw my first 2 people. I might be wrong, but they seemed like they were potentially through hikers because of their gear, which is cool. It's kind of early in the season for through hikers because I'm in Virginia and it's still March. I was going through Damascus April 1st, but I was not very speedy. Speedier people who started the same time as me would have been around here by now. So I'm hoping that wherever I camp, I'll also see some through hikers, and then on my way back to my car as I'm headed north, because through hikers are cool. I miss through hiking. I'm gonna through hike soon. But yeah, another nice view. I'm gonna be really excited to hike the PCT and be on the West Coast, which I haven't really hiked on much, but there's also just something about the Appalachians and the AT that will always have a special place in my heart. Maybe it's because my first through hike, I don't know, but also in general, there's just something about it. I just had a nice snack break on this rock. I had gummy worms, and I kind of made trail mix I had some mixed nuts, and then I added in pumpkin seeds and also the caramel cold brew M&Ms, which are actually really good. It's almost 10. I need to start hiking. I'm trying to do 12 by 12. I've already done 8.3 or 4. So I'm trying to do 12 by 12, and then I'll have a lunch break, and then I'll get back to it. I'm about 10 miles in, and I'm taking another break, even though I said that would be my last one before lunch. I'm feeling a little unmotivated, actually. I feel like I don't know. I mean, I think I'm just a little out of shape, and it's been a minute since I was backpacking. But I don't know if I actually want to do 20. Like, I probably won't do 20. I'll probably do like a 15 or something. I'm also realizing that, like, I don't know how important the starting with 20s on the PCT is. I also don't think at this point 2 weekends of backpacking is going to be training for that exactly. Like, enough, I guess. I don't know. Like, I should likely start the PCT the same way I started the AT, which is, like, really slow, low mileage, and, like, being super cautious to, like, not get injured. And I think that maybe because it's my second through hike and also I have all the ultra experience, I'm like, oh, I'm going to hit the ground running and start with high teen mileage. It's like, perhaps I shouldn't do that anyway. Like, I'm not actually as fit as I think I am, you know? And, like, the last thing I would want to do is get an overuse injury from, like, starting too fast. That would just be stupid. So, I don't know. And then if I'm not trying to hit the ground running, then, like, why would I do that on my training hikes? Yeah, so I'm going to get another couple miles in, well, 1 or 2, I don't know. And then I'm going to do an early and long lunch break and then figure out what I'm doing from there. I always love when it kind of opens up into a grassy field. I feel like this would be beautiful to stop for my lunch break, but I think it makes more sense to go to a water source. It's nice though. Lovely water source. It'll do. I have some tuna cheese and avocado wraps. I forgot that I had avocados in the fridge until I was packing food for this. I brought an avocado, which is very fancy. And then I have some liquid IV in here. I try to do some electrolytes when I do lunch breaks while backpacking because I learned on my AT through hike that I needed a bit more or that it helped or whatever. And then I'm trying to let my feet kind of air out. I don't know. So that's my lunch vibe. I did cut my leg because I was cutting cheese with my tiny Swiss Army knife on my leg, which was dumb. And then I switched to cutting it on top of the tortillas on top of my leg, which was smarter. But yeah, this is my lunch vibe. I usually take like an hour for lunch, like from when I sit down to when I get up at least. Or at least that's what I did on my AT through hike, and I really liked it. Just to like kind of truly have enough of a break. But we'll see if I continue that habit on the PCT or not. But I'm definitely going to do it today. And maybe even longer today, honestly, because it's really nice out. And like I said, I think I've already gone 11 or 12 miles. So like, what am I doing if I don't take a long lunch break? Yeah. I think that one of my problems is pacing myself. I feel like, especially post having done a couple of ultras, it's so hard for me to like chill out and be, well, it's easier like when I'm through hiking. Flexibility and spontaneity is like pretty easy, and that's one of the things that I loved about my AT through hike so much. But then in normal life, like, and even when I'm on trail in normal life, like for weekend hikes, I like have an idea in my head of what I want to do, and I like have to do it, and I like go fast and burn myself out, and then I'm like, what am I doing? And then I end up like cutting it short or quitting or whatever. And it's, I don't know, it's just annoying. I've just been thinking about it because like I'm modifying my expectations for this Shakedown hike, but like for this in a way, like I don't really, like my goal probably shouldn't have been that high in the first place, with wanting to do 20s on a Shakedown hike, because like the AT is like the terrain is just hard,
which I'm sure the PCT will be somewhat hard, but I've heard it's graded more kindly. But then also, like, yes, it's true that, like, the first 2 days that I'm on the PCT, I do have to do 20s because I don't have a permit. I do have a permit, but it, like, starts a lot later than I wanted to start, so it starts further up. So until Idlewild, I don't have a permit. And so the only places you can camp in the first 40 miles without a permit are Lake Marina and Mount Laguna, which are mile 20 and 40-ish, respectively. And so, like, yeah, I'm going to have to do 20s on the first 2 days. But also, I'm pretty sure I'm going to slack pack those days. Like, my mom's coming with me to drop me off, and she's going to be around for a couple days. And so then it's like, I can slack pack a 20 very easily on relatively flat terrain. And then, like, after that, it's like, I should really just do what every thru hiker should do, which is, like, take it easy and, like, think about longevity and sustainability and, like, listen to my body. So, I don't know. I don't know why I, like, got so ahead of myself there. Yeah, I feel a little bit better after, like, eating and, like, I was just laying down for a while, but also, like, because I definitely did tire myself out with doing, like, 10 or 11 miles before lunch, having not backpacked very much in the past while. And so I definitely, like, tired myself out a little bit, and then I feel like whenever I get tired, I also just get, like, mood-wise in a little bit of a funk. I still don't know what I'm doing tonight, like, based on the terrain. There's, like, because my options are, I can, like, there's a shelter in, like, a mile. I could stay there, and that would pretty easily, or, like, nicely set me up for, like, a 10 the next day, and then turn around 10-10. Day 3 and 4, but also it's like I kind of do want a little more miles than 10, especially for today, because it's like, what if I stop at the shelter now at noon? Like, what am I gonna do? The answer is there would be some very interesting writings in the shelter log. But then if I keep going, like if I do say 15, there's also a place to camp at 15 miles. But then I'd probably have to turn it into a 3-day trip. I mean, I wouldn't have to, but if I go 15 and then I guess try to do 15 the day after that, I'm going down, and then on day 3 would go back up the, like, James River to, I think it's Bluff Mountain or Bald Mountain, something like that. And it's like, it looks like worse of a climb than the Priest was. And I don't know if I particularly, like, want to do that. And so if I didn't want to do that, then I'd have to cut it to 3 days. But then if it was 3 days, then the middle day is just weird because you, like, walk out and then turn around in the middle of the day. So I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I think I'm gonna pack my stuff up, hike to the shelter, sit around, think about it for some more, and then figure out what the hell I'm doing. And also just, like, try to appreciate this for what it is and not, I don't know, not feel too lame for, like, making my own trips that are really just for me shorter. Because I feel like often I get caught up in the, like, there's a lot of folks who I'm friends with, who I go to school with, who are, like, very outdoorsy, and it's weird because I know I do awesome shit, but then I find myself being like, I'm not outdoorsy enough, which is, like, really dumb. But so I'm trying to not, like, beat myself up for like shortening a trip or whatever, because I feel like I do that a lot, or I feel that way a lot when I do things like that. Okay, end of ramble. Thanks.
Okay, I'm at the shelter, and now I just need to figure out what I'm even doing in general.
Alright, so I'm gonna stay here and then do, 10-ish each day for the 4 days, I think is the plan. Okay. I was just like napping for like 3 hours. I wasn't really like sleeping the whole time, but I kind of felt really out of it today while I was hiking, and I think it was just because I was pushing myself too hard and like not taking enough breaks and like going pretty quickly, because I've been doing everything else right. Like I've had a lot of water, I've had electrolytes, I've been fueling myself well, and I don't think I'm like ill or anything. So I think I was/am just tired. I'm hoping that I like wake up tomorrow morning and feel a lot better. But like we'll kind of go from there. But for now, like this is camp, and the plan would be to do 10 tomorrow to like Coal Mountain / there's also Cow Camp Gap Shelter, so one of those two. I think they're at like 9 and 11, and then just turn it around and do the same thing back to the car, basically, would be the plan.
Okay, here's dinner. I am trying to be a cold soaker. So I've instant mashed potatoes with some dehydrated veggies and also TVP, textured vegetable protein. And then I put some mayo in it. I put some fajita seasoning in it. I have the other half of the avocado that I will put in it as I actually get more space in here, and I'll also probably carve off some slices of cheese. I was like going back and forth on whether I'd cold soak for the PCT. I feel like it's not that bad. Like I feel like you can still have some really like cool and creative meals. Granted, there will probably be some days where it like sucks if you had a really hard day and don't have a hot meal, or if it's cold out. It's not right now. But like I feel like you can be just as creative, and at a certain point you just don't really care.